Thanks everyone for being here. We are now in day 38 of this Democrat-led shutdown. This is harming our communities, is harming people throughout the community. SNAP benefits today are not flowing as they should be. I'm grateful to have Jim Jordan here spending some time with us here in the district. We'll have Jim say a few words. But the real thing I wanted to do was show Jim some of the great things that are happening in our community, particularly here, specifically here at Blessings of Hope, who really are stepping in when those SNAP benefits aren't flowing right now. He's seen a real uptick in the food that is distributed from this location, and so working to meet the needs of the families who really are hurting as a result of this shutdown. The story of the Blessings of Hope is really amazing. They've sort of cracked the code in terms of taking what would have been waste food that manufacturers, you all know how important food manufacturing is to our area. Well, just in the course of production and matching that with sales, there's a lot of food wasted. Smaller organizations can't take that food because it comes in tractor-trailer loads. And it's sort of what the Blessings of Hope has found a niche there that really helps. They will accept truckloads, tractor-trailer trucks of food. How many per year?
I don't know. Lots. A lot, yeah.
But they're literally then distributing that food, sort of breaking out, distributing to multiple organizations across the community who provide food assistance and help to families. David told me that they provide, through those organizations, about 2 million meals per month. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
2 million meals per month. And so, again, we want to see this government shutdown ended. Jim and I voted for this, for a continuing resolution that would have the government open back on September 19th, almost 6-7 weeks ago now. Democrats, of course, they've been trying to pass that very bill in the Senate. Democrats have had now 14. Yep. We'll be given the 15th opportunity today to pass that. We could have government operating as it should be by the end of the day today, or I don't know how long it would take to get to the president's desk, but if 5 more Democrats support the work of the Senate there, we could have government open, and that's been that case ever since October 1st. And so we hope they come to their senses. We think families are hurting. We can have policy discussions, but you should never use the American people as hostages while we're holding those discussions. So, Jim, do you want to say a few words?
Well, I just want to thank your great Congressman Lloyd for all the good work he's doing, and David and Blessings of Hope, the great work they're doing here. I was telling Lloyd that I think Ohio's second in snack food production to Pennsylvania. It's not the only thing we're losing to Pennsylvania in wrestling, and now I guess food production too. But it is
you
good
do
to be,
beat us in football though, right?
Well,
now.
that is true. That is
a little
true.
problem there.
Yeah. But it's good to be with you. And David and his team are just doing the Lord's work. This is Lloyd told me about it yesterday. What an amazing model they have, and how they're meeting the needs of people, and how they're distributing this food. So we really appreciate what you're doing, your ministry, in effect, which is so important.
Yeah.
David, you want to say a few words?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out, Lloyd. Jim, it's been a pleasure to get to meet you, and thank you for sharing what God is doing through Blessings of Hope. We are here to do the work that is currently looked at on the government to do, but we believe that the welfare of the community should be brought back to the church. If we can empower our local community, our local church, to take care of the needs, to where if there is a government shutdown, that people aren't hurting in that time. So our big picture vision is to grow the organization to other regions, and potentially even replace the whole need for some of these government programs, to where I don't think anybody would disagree that the private sector can probably do a better job of managing money than the federal government can. So I'm not saying more on that, but so yeah, our heart is to step in, fill a need, fill that gap. The USDA website states that 30 to 40% of all food produced in America is wasted, while an estimated 60 million people are considered food insecure in this country. So we see the food insecurity issue as a management issue, not a production issue. How can we utilize what's being produced, get that to people in need, and build that bridge to where we're not looking to the federal government to fund these programs, but we as the body of Christ are stepping up and leading the charge of making a difference in our communities. So thank you again for being here. To all of our supporters out there, thank you. We really appreciate the support that you have shown to Blessings of Hope, whether you're volunteers, donors, whatever. Thank you for your support. You are what really makes this possible.
And with that, we have a few minutes to take a few questions.
You talked about SNAP benefits and how it's important to get those restarted as soon as possible, but I am curious, if that is a priority of the Republican caucus, then why is President Trump going into court to try and prevent those funds from being distributed?
Yeah, I don't know if Jim wants to speak to this at all, but I'm happy to. I don't know exactly what the intent is. What I can tell you is that the administration has talked about the need to try to find the funding. Of course, generally they're not able to appropriate dollars without that congressional approval, without the government being open. So I know that they want to fund it. I'm not sure exactly what the intent of that is. I can tell you the best way to do it, the best way to get funding operating is for Democrats to join Republicans in opening the government.
But isn't the contingency fund available?
Yeah, well, the president said he wants to help. He's eager to do that. They want to make sure they do it the right way. But Congressman Smucker is exactly right. There have been 14 times that the Democrats could help, could get this done. 14 times they've said no to what we passed, as Lloyd mentioned, back on September 19th. Why they won't fund the government at a level they all agreed to 6 months ago is beyond me. They all agreed to do it 6 months ago. We're simply asking them to do the same thing, and they said no. And they're throwing a temper tantrum and not doing it. So that makes no sense to me. So that's the way to get this done. And it could have been done a long time. We never would have had to be here. We wouldn't be here, but not in this overall position. We love what you're doing. We never would have been in this situation if they'd just done what everyone knows is common sense and what they did 6 months earlier.
You know, I know they were arithmetic in the Senate, how many votes you need. But this many days in, is there any thought to say, listen, we've gotten to this point where we need to negotiate. Why not do it now, especially depending on who you talk to. Tuesdays, I talked to a lot of voters on Tuesday. They blame Republicans for the shutdown. Whether that's rightful or wrongful, they're frustrated with the party in power. Are you worried that if you don't do something soon, you maybe come to the table on these Affordable Care Act subsidies and you're going to face, you might not be able to enact the policies you want to?
Well, I think it was a surprise to everyone that the Democrat Party would take a clean CR. It's never been done before, where you literally take a clean CR, and that's the point you dig in on policies that really weren't even set to expire during the period of that CR. There are policies that, sure, we will have debates. We've expected that we will be discussing those policies and find the way to move forward. But to hold the American people hostage for a clean CR for policies that aren't even impacted is just really, really unusual. I think today in the Senate, well, remember, this is passed in the House, so in some ways it's up to the Senate. The way the process works is the Senate either moves our bill and it goes to the president's desk, or they react to our bill or pass something different, send it back to us, and we negotiate. So we fully expected that the additional 7 weeks in this CR would give us the time to negotiate the issues that are outstanding, to negotiate the funding for the rest of the fiscal year. And we're very surprised that this is the tack they've taken. They will be given another chance today. And to your point of negotiating, we're now getting close to the deadline in this CR. So it's pretty clear we're not going to be able to work through all of this by the through all of the funding for the fiscal year by the end of this CR. So I think, and Jim, you may have some additional information here, but the leader of the Senate, Thune, is putting a bill on the table today that I think extends that date for the CR, and then also incorporates the bills that we had sent over to the Senate, 3 appropriations bills. And you remember, I've talked about this many times, I don't really like CRs. We ought to be doing the funding for the federal government in the way it's intended, in a transparent, open way, what we call regular order. We made a lot of progress in that in the House. We passed all of the 12 appropriations bills out of the Appropriations Committee, as should be done. Did that before the beginning of the fiscal year, and then several of those passed on the House floor and they're over in the Senate. So the bill that the leader of the Senate is putting forward today, my understanding, of course, may change, but it would change the end date of the CR plus include those bills that we've moved over to the Senate. So there are apparently talks going on of how we can move this thing forward.
But this is simple. No one has said. The President of the United States says he's willing to talk about any policy you want to talk about. The Speaker of the House has said he's willing to talk about any policy you want to talk about. And so has the leader of the United States Senate. Just open the government. Like, what the heck? But as Lloyd mentioned, they shut down the government for a policy that they want to discuss and try to impact, but it doesn't take effect until the beginning of next year. So this was as I said before, this is a temper tantrum thrown by the Democrats. And frankly, if you want to listen to a Democrat, listen to the one that's a senator in your state. He said they're throwing a temper tantrum and this is ridiculous, and they should open up the government and then negotiate.
Maybe take one more question.
Congressman, let me just ask more specifically about the results from earlier this week. Are you concerned about the headwinds headed into the midterms next year? Again, I'm not going to litigate whether who's getting blamed for what, but midterms are often a challenging year. Are you worried about what happened last week being a precursor to something in Pennsylvania?
Well, there's a lot that has been, people have tried to slice and dice what's happened in this election. Remember, it is an off-year election, and how that translates to a national election, there's not a lot of correlation there from year to year. And remember this as well, all of these key races that we're hearing a lot about are in blue states that we expected would be won by Democrats. I think Republicans still have the right message. We have delivered on what the voters have asked us to do just a year ago. We've made incredible progress on all of those promises in the past year. I think you're going to see a strong economy going forward. I think people are going to be feeling good about what's happening in their pocketbooks, what's happening through their families. We've already had 2 quarters of really strong growth, so I'm very optimistic that the president will continue to deliver on his agenda along with Congress, and people will see those results and they'll vote accordingly.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.